Okay, so I just got back from the Best Buy midnight release event for the Nintendo Switch 2, and we're going to unbox it for us. So I got the console, and I also got the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. I had a Switch 1 Pro Controller, but I misplaced it, and I have no idea where I put it, so I went ahead and just bought a new Pro Controller. Plus, these is an upgrade experience, so I'm excited. And they also handed out these little coins, so we're going to open the coin first. It feels plasticky, which I was really hoping it was going to be like an aluminum, but it's still pretty cool. I mean, that's a pretty good heavy coin for what it is. But they gave this to everybody who was waiting in line. I had a Switch 2 pre-order, so I was able to get the coin. And it's in a little plastic. It's a metal coin, but it's in a plastic case. And I don't think you can open the case. It doesn't look like it opens. So yeah, you got the Switch 2 logo on this side, and this side it says Best Buy 2025. They gave out to everybody in line, which I think is pretty cool that they gave you something. So I think that was pretty sweet. So we're gonna get straight in the console. We're actually going to open the console first, and then the Pro Controller second, just because I'm really excited to open this console. I also have my Switch 1 here for comparison, so we'll be comparing the size as well. But I got the Mario Kart World Bundle. This is the Nintendo Switch 2. They say light red, but it's really looks like orange, so I'm excited. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. We're going to get straight into opening it. If I go ahead and just pop this little tab down. Yeah, the way I'm recording this is very weird, by the way. So if I sound like I'm struggling, I might be just a second. Actually, there might be, yeah, the same. It's like there's a little plastic tab on there, which I couldn't tell at first, but I gotta get this little plastic guy off. Let me pause it and I'll get this plastic tab. Okay, so I got the plastic tab off. It was actually kind of hard to get off. So after you get that little plastic strap off, it comes right off and it pops open. And here we go. We should open the console now. All right, so here is the console. That screen is massive already, but we're going to get straight into the Joy-Con. So this is the left Joy-Con right here and the right Joy-Con. And already in the hands, these are huge, way bigger than the old one, and they do feel much better in the hands. I'm going to leave them in the plastic just for a little bit. But we're going to put them right here. This is the console. Let's get this guy out. This is how big the console is. I mean, look at that Switch 2. That's amazing. And you got the orange side and the blue side. And that, yeah, they do say light red, but I mean, that is 100% orange. I mean, look at that, guys. That's 100% orange. So, yeah, let's see what else we got. We got this little flap right here. And, oh, here's the download code for the Mario Kart World Bundle. It's going to be under here, so that's pretty sweet. Tells you how to redeem it from the eShop. So I will definitely be doing that because I'm excited for that. If you guys are watching this, I'm probably live on YouTube playing the game. So check the channel, and I will most likely be live if you're watching this at the time of posting. You also get a little manual, which I'm not going to read because everybody should know how to use a Switch 2. You have this HDMI cable, an ultra certified cable, HDMI ultra high speed cable, which it looks pretty close. It looks identical to the Switch 1 HDMI cable, but it's graded for a higher capability, up to 4K. We also have the new Joy-Con wrist straps, which these are a little bit weird. So the old one had like L and R buttons on it. Because they made the L and R buttons bigger, I guess they decided they didn't want to put them on here. So they include these just to have the mouse felt on the end, so for mouse mode, which I'm really excited to try that out. Especially I'm gonna be trying that out with Fortnite, which I think Fortnite said they're gonna announce it or start supporting it on the 7th. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, so that tray 1 comes out. That's the tray. That's the first tray. And then so we got right here we have the AC power adapter. Which it's really heavy. And okay, so already I'm kind of disappointed with it a little bit. I wish it was like a foldable one that way I can fold it down, but unfortunately it's not. But it's other than that, it's a really nice power brick. It's got the Nintendo logo on it right there, and it's USB-C. I do like the fact that you can undo it. Because the one for the Switch 1, it was fixed. You could not unplug it, so I'm really excited for that. Alright, so speaking of USB-C cables, this is the USB-C charging cable that plugs into the Switch and to the AC adapter. It can plug into either one of the two USB-C ports on the console to charge either top or the bottom. Right here, this looks to be the charging grip, or not the charging grip, sorry, the regular grip. And I'm gonna be honest, I have to put the Joy-Cons in it, but I'm not sure how I'm going to like this. That's why I picked up the Pro Controller 2, and it's because they don't have the side, like the grip is shorter than the old one, because the Joy-Cons have to go in from the side rather than slide from the top. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be a fan of this, but we will definitely see. And these are little plastic bits, like, because they're supposed to be chips on the console, so I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I will definitely try that. We'll try that later in the video. And the last thing in the box, it should be everybody should know what it is. It should be the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. So I'm really excited. I actually don't have my Switch OLED dock with me at the moment. I'm currently in the process of moving, so everything's in boxes. But this is the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. It looks really nice. You still have the two USB Type A ports on the side here, and the Nintendo Switch 2 logo on the front. That's pretty sweet. On the bottom, you have these little felt packets, and you have a bunch of air vents because there's now a fan inside of this. I do believe it's clipped on. So yeah, it comes off just like that. And you have your AC power adapter, your HDMI out, and you also have an Ethernet port, which is really cool because the original Switch did not have this. The OLED version did, but the original did not. So that's a nice upgrade if you're coming from the original Switch. So that's the Switch 2 dock. And that's pretty much everything that was in the box. So I'm going to put everything that I don't need back in the box, and we'll take a closer look at the system. Alright guys, so I have now edited, or I have now, got all the Kate stuff out of the box. We're going to actually put them in the grip first before we even look at the system. But here, they just magnetic strip. So these are now aluminum, which I'll be honest, they don't feel aluminum to me. Like, maybe a little bit, but they are definitely better quality than the original. Look, I'm already pushing over here because it feels like it should be here, but it's right here. So I got actually a Joy-Con right here from my Switch OLED. This is the size differences. Like, look at this. This is side by side right here. Let's put this guy on top and then get that guy. So yeah, pretty good size upgrade from the top. There we go. And then look how massive those buttons are compared to the original. Like, that's insane. You have the eject button on the Switch 1, and you also have, oh, that button feels nice to click. Like, way easier to click than the one that was on the Switch 1, so way better. The buttons are so much bigger. Like, look how big that R button is compared to the Switch 1. That's insane. So that's a little comparison between the Switch 1. And yeah, you have the light blue and the orange. I really wish they went with the red rather than orange, but oh well. Alright, let's put this guy in the grip now. Let's see how it goes in. So it should just, oh, it slid in right there. Wow, those magnets are quite strong. Okay. So not too bad. The grip's alright, I guess. I think I do prefer the original Switch 1 grip, just because you had a little bit of extra plastic here that protected your fingers. But I mean, if I didn't have a Pro Controller, I bet I could get used to this. But yeah, coming from the Switch 1, I think I do prefer the original grip better. But the original Switch Joy-Cons do work for the Switch 2, so it's not too big of an issue. Let's try that eject. Okay, wow. Okay, so that comes right off really easily. Like, barely pulled it off. Okay, let's put it on the actual system now. And let's try this. Here we go. Oh, here's a system not in the plastic, by the way. You have that giant screen. Like, look at that giant screen. You also have the blue side and the orange side. You have this kickstand, which, I'm gonna be honest, it's not as good as the OLED version, but it's still pretty good. It's an aluminum kickstand. You have a micro SD card slot right here on the bottom. USB-C support on the bottom as well. As for the top, you have your power, your volume up and down. You have your ventilation holes, USB Type-C, and you have your card reader. And if you didn't know already, the card reader actually opens from the back on this one. And you have this like aluminum casing. Most of my games are digital, but I'll be honest, that is a way easier way to open the games than it was on the Switch OLED. So massive plus to Nintendo for that. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit here. There we go. And that's a massive upgrade, I think, in my opinion. I was worried about these little plastic bits in here, or like the chip piece, but I mean, I'm pushing on that, and that is not moving. So it does. So that's really good. I'm glad for that. So let's put them on here. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Slid right into place. And 3, 2, 1. Slid right. Now I want to try to remove it without hitting the button. Oh yeah, I'm putting a lot of force on that. That is not coming off. All right, sweet. But I mean, just seeing the buttons come right off, but that's insane. So, yeah, let's go and take off my Joy-Cons again. And we're actually going to compare this to the original tablet, because I know a lot of people are going to want to see that. So here's my OLED, and my OLED has smudges all over the screen. Sorry about that. So yeah, here's the OLED. Right, like look at that. Look at that. Look how much wider that is. That's insane. It's also a lot taller too. It's coming from the Switch OLED has a 6.9-inch display. Sorry, not a 6.9-inch display. I believe it had a 6.1-inch display. This now has I think an 8-inch display. I could be wrong. But look at that massive difference. That's insane. Wow. Like, massive difference. Okay. I know you guys are waiting for me to turn the system on, so let's go ahead and turn the system on. Let's pop these Joy-Cons back on, and we'll turn it on. There we go. We got the Nintendo logo. There we go. Nintendo Switch 2 logo. Ooh, we got some sounds. There we go. Straight into it. So we're going to go ahead and set it up. English, the Americas. Going to accept that. Internet connect settings. Let me go and connect you to the internet. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just connected to the internet. It says about to download and update data. You can continue setting up while the update downloads. So we're going to hit next. All right, now we're going to do the time zone. Let's see. Okay, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. Let me go ahead and find the time zone real quick. Okay, of course, mine was towards the bottom. So I found it. Okay, so it's with Nintendo Switch 2. You can play games wherever you want, however you want. Next. The system can stand at an angle, at whatever angle you like. Just pull out the rear stand. You can now connect the AC adapter to the top of the system. Detach the right Joy-Con to... Oh, it's telling me to put it in tabletop. So let's put it in tabletop real quick. All right, let's get the box and let's sit on top of the box. Okay. So, let's see. I got it pulled out. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Do you want to connect to TV? We'll do that later. We're going to skip that. Choose a style you want to change. You can choose a style. You can change it anytime. So, we're going to hit OK. Ready to update the system. Let's hit update. All right, so I'll be right back with this update, and I'll come right back. Alright, so that update went really quick, like 1 to 2 minutes, but also have really fast internet. And then it pulled back up, and it says if you have a Nintendo Switch, which I do, you can transfer your data from Nintendo Switch to the Nintendo Switch 2. Start system transfer or don't transfer. Select this option if you don't have a Switch. So I'm going to start system transfer. It says if you have a micro SD card express memory card slot, insert it. You can use the inserted micro SD express card to store data for downloadable software. Only micro SD cards, express cards with this feature, the mark shown in the images are supported. Other SD cards won't work. So if you have your SD card in your Switch 1, it will not work for the Switch 2. You have to have a special express card, which I did not pick up express micro SD card, and it's because the 256 gigabytes on this system is more than enough for all my games, because I don't have a lot of games. So I will be picking one up in the future, but at launch I decided to skip it for now. So I'm going to click skip. And then I'm going to go and transfer everything, and then I'll meet you guys on the home screen. Okay, so I completed the system transfer. It took about 10 minutes for it to complete. While I was getting it all my data transferred, I was actually messing around with the coin, and the case does come apart, so that you can take the coin out. And this is an aluminum coin, so it was an aluminum coin in a plastic case. So it's really cool. I think I'm going to keep it in the plastic case though, just to keep it protected. But knowing that I can take it out is really cool. So it has Best Buy 2025 on this side, and then on the other side it has the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. So I think that's pretty neat. I would have been a little bummed out if you couldn't open it. So I think it's really cool that you can open it. Really cool. So I'm glad with that. But anyway, it took about 10 minutes for everything to complete, and we're gonna hit OK. Let's see. The system color. The theme color from the source system will be carried over, so that means it's probably gonna switch to dark mode. Yeah. Setup complete. To go home, to go to the home menu, press the home button. All right, and switch to. Wow, look at that! And all my games are downloading. One thing I do want to see is the original Minecraft downloading. I really hope it is. It is. Oh my gosh, sweet. It's on there. Okay, cool, because you can no longer get this version on the eShop, so I was really hoping you could download this. Because I do like this is the original console legacy edition, so I'm glad that will carry over. But all my games transferred only about 10 minutes, so that's pretty sweet. It is going to take a while to download everything. All my profiles changed. It is currently 11:54 p.m., which I do believe that is the correct time. Yeah, 11:54 because I picked the correct time zone, so that's great. Nintendo Switch Online. This is pretty much all the same as the Switch 2, Switch 1, but you have Nintendo Switch Online, Game Chat, News, and eShop, Album, Game Share, Controllers, Virtual Game Cards, System Settings, and Sleep Modes. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as Switch 1 with the new update. The only thing that's different is the Game Chat feature, which if I hit Game Chat, it will then say who will be using Game Chat. It'll obviously be me, Axel, because that's my name. Welcome to Game Chat. Let's get everything set up and ready to go. So yeah, it seems I'm gonna have to set that up. I will get that set up later at a later date, but it's pretty cool. The news tab, it should be the exact same. Who news feed do I want to view? And there's the news feed. So that's pretty sweet. So yeah, that is the setup process of the Nintendo Switch 2 and unboxing it. So it's really sweet. So yeah, if you guys are watching this video, I'm most likely live on Mario Kart World. I will have to download the game and then I get live. One thing I am noticing now as I'm scrolling to the home menu is these joysticks are a noticeable improvement over the original. Like they don't grind when you do this. The original one, if you don't know, but it did have like a little grinding when you did something like this. These are so butterly smooth, so a way big of improvement. All right, so with the system done, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and we're going to unbox the Switch 2 Pro controller, and that'll be the video. So let's get this out of the way. And let's open up the Switch 2 Pro controller. So we have the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, and then we have them in different languages down there as well. We have a little bit of pictures. It tells you that it comes with a USB port and the buttons. So we're going to go and get this open. Let's see if I have an easier time opening this than I did the console box. There we go. All right, so should just pull straight out. Perfect. We have a USB-C to USB Type A, so you can plug it into the dock and charge it there. And then you have the controller. That's it. So we're going to open up this guy. All right, so it folds open like this and pulls it out right there. Whoa. Okay, that's like completely different. It almost feels. I don't have my Switch 2 Pro controller on me, but it does feel a little small. I want to say it feels smaller than the original Pro controller, like slightly smaller. I could be a little wrong. The joysticks, however, are completely better. It almost feels like there's like a little rubber gap right here, little rubber gasket, so it doesn't bounce around. Way smoother. You also have a game chat feature. You also, on the back, they added a GL and a GR and a GL. I'm looking at backwards because it's backwards. So GR and GL. Really cool. The top is now white, which I'm not a fan of. I really prefer the black, but I think I'll grow to it as time goes on. But overall, I do like it. One thing about the Pro Controller that I'm going to miss from the Switch 1 is the Switch 1 was kind of translucent, and if you pull down the right joystick, there was a hidden message on the inside that said, "Thanks to all game fans." If you haven't seen my original unboxing of the Switch 1 Pro controller, you can go watch it. I was probably like 10 years old, so like it's a really bad video. But I mean, it was really cool. I'm gonna miss that feature. But other than that, I do like the switch to Pro Controller. One thing that is kind of bothering me now I'm looking at it is the C button. It is centered with the controller, but because it's so close to this right joystick, it almost looks not centered, at least on the bottom, but it is centered. So that looks a little odd in my opinion, I'm gonna be honest. I wish they put the chat button, honestly, like up here, because I'm only gonna hit it like one time. So I wish they moved that to like up here by the USB, like the sync button or something. But other than that, that's the Switch 2 Pro Controller and the Nintendo Switch. Let me know if you guys in the comments below are getting a Switch 2 if you haven't already got a Switch 2. And yeah, let me know if you guys got Mario Kart. That's going to be really exciting. I'm also going to get Donkey Kong Bonanza when it comes out in July. So stay tuned for more videos and content. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.